Welcome back to your Afternoon Express Loft, and of course we are in the kitchen with another Eid-inspired recipe. Now this recipe is actually something that our guest of honor holds very near and dear to her heart. I'm talking about Chef Ilham. Tell us about this next one.
So this one is really special to me because without fail, you know, it's one of those dishes that always makes it onto our Eid menu.
Oh, wow. Now, Dumi, are you excited about it?
I'm excited, girl.
Let's get into it. I mean, Eid is a time where families come together, and these kebabs in a saffron yogurt sauce are probably one of Ilham's favorite meals to make for her family during Eid. Now, this is a special recipe that she has taken from her nanima and is packed with flavor and soul. She's here to show us how to prepare this dish and share some of her memories of making it for her family. This dish is not only easy to prepare, it will make for the perfect dish for breakfast on Eid. Now, first and foremost, for some of us that also have pet names for people in our family, who's your nanima?
So she's actually my mother's mother, and she's 90 years old. She's going to be 91 this year. So wow. When I say this has been around for a long time, so it definitely has. And she's, you know, she's the one that kind of created this dish, and now between my mother and I, it's one of our favorite things to make.
So what do we need to make sure that we make Nanima proud? Okay,
so we're gonna start off with some mince. Now we've got beef mince here, but you can use, you know, ostrich mince if you like, because that might be a little bit more lighter, it might be a bit healthier. And then we're going to add some onion to this, you know, and I'm just going to use my hands to mix everything together. If you had a food processor, you know, you could add a food processor. You could add all of this to a food processor. And what you want is a really fine sort of mixture. So work, you know, all of the ingredients in with your hands. And then we've got some bread that's actually been soaked in some milk or water, and this is going to bind the mixture together. So this is going to bind all of our kebab mix. And then I'm just going to add some coriander and some mint, which is a bit of an unusual ingredient, but it works really well with meat. Okay. So yeah, it adds a really lovely flavor. And then I've got some garlic, I've got some ground cardamom or ilachi, that's going in. That adds a little bit of a sweetness. And then we've got some ground cumin, and then a little bit of cinnamon, which adds another little bit of sweetness and warmth to the dish. So that goes in, and then we've also got some red chilies here. So, you know, if you don't like the spice, you could just use less. But if you like more, if you like it hot, you can add more chili. So you can pretty much make this to your preference of how you would like, you know. How
you like to play with the flavors and textures. Now, someone else that also is always showing me a new way to enjoy different foods is Dumi. And on your side, you've been whisking away.
Yes, so I'm making a yogurt sauce that actually goes into the tomato base. And I wanted to touch on, you know, Ilham, we're making something here, and I know a lot of dishes tend to, especially when you're doing your curries and stuff like that. Is there a reason specifically why you've chosen the yogurt to be the one that enriches the dish? Because I've got some yogurt with some cayenne pepper and saffron as well that's going into this tomatoey base.
Yeah, so, you know, there is another version of this recipe that my grandmother makes all the time, and that is just a tomato chutney, but it doesn't have the yogurt. Okay. So when it comes to Eid, we want something a bit creamy, a little bit more like luscious, you know, and then we've got the double cream yogurt, which really adds a lot of, really adds a lovely consistency and texture to this dish. So I'm just going to brown the kebabs, because, you know, we want a really nice color on these. These have already been rolled and formed. Yeah. So you can see they've just been formed into little balls, and we just want to brown them.
And at which point do we add the tomato base? Can we add it in now?
So, yeah, once you see we've got some nice color onto the kebabs, then I'm just gonna go in with the tomato. Now this is tomato that's been peeled, so it's tomato passata. There's no skin in it. And I'm sure you know that, you know, sometimes tomato skin can actually make your dish a bit cloudy. So when you've got just pure tomato flesh, it's It just makes for a much nicer sauce.
Okay.
So
And I can
here
obviously
we
go in with the yogurt sauce
Yes.
now as well. Perfect.
Okay, well, ladies, please do whip that up, put it all together and blend it quite nicely, because this is definitely going to be one of those pivotal meals and dishes that we're going to add to our Eid table. And if you would like to do the same, simply head over to our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, to get this recipe.